Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Wait, no, not that water. That's full of contaminants and pharmaceuticals. You need Culligan water. With their free water test and reverse osmosis purification system, you'll have clean, refreshing water just like a slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation today at Culligan.com. Culligan, your partner for better water.
Hey, Culligan man!
When you're in pain and an hour seems like a day seems like a month, there's only one place to go for your treatment. Pain Care Florida. Our pain management specialists have the knowledge and experience in state-of-the-art procedures to relieve pain and get you moving. Time waits for no one, especially when you're in pain. Visit paincareflorida.com. Pain Care Florida. Stop hurting, start living today.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
The college basketball mania is here, so grab your MVP card and head on over to Duffy's to enjoy their courtside favorites, famous award-winning jumbo wings, certified Angus beef burgers, and 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. You'll never miss a minute of the action. And while it's tournament time, it's also Taste of Ireland time with special items like Irish potato skins and the Reuben burger. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to find a Duffy's near you. And remember, Duffy's, our game is always on.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The ruling is in. Ja Morant, you're safe. But DAK, you might want to watch your back. Damian, let's ride.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Coming to you live from the old course at Broken Sound Golf Club here in Boca Raton. It is Theo Dorsey. This is Theoretically Speaking. We are at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational, the PGA Champions Tour, in town here in South Florida, ready to get things rocking. Today, the Pro-Am. Tomorrow, it's active. And next to me, and not behind the glass on the ones and twos, is my guy, Christian Cat, also known as C-Cat.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for putting that out there.
There you go.
I tried to catch our billboard on 95 in my rear view mirror while driving southbound on 95 from West Palm to Boca. I couldn't catch it.
So real rubberneck action you're doing there while driving forward.
Yeah, I've got the auto lane assist and the cruise control. It still didn't help me.
Yeah, these robot cars, man. I told you when I was out there in Scottsdale, my wife and I, we saw all the robot cars, which are like way more frequent in Arizona for some odd reason. That's like their testing ground. Maybe it's because all the bachelorette trips, they know a lot of shared drivers might be requested. So they're like, here goes a bunch of robot cars. We said we would do it. We were there for about a week. I never pulled the trigger.
Really?
I never pulled
That would
the
be
trigger.
the first thing I would do before any sightseeing. I don't care about the nature. I don't care about the sights, the sounds.
Yeah.
I want to get an automatically driven vehicle. That sounds crazy.
I'm not even against it. I think it just was like happenstance. We talked, like, again, we set our intentions on it, but you got to, like, number one, you got to be in the mood for that, and to do it for the first time.
I guess so. You want to savor it and you want to discuss it, and you don't. It's not just a what is it, fundamental need at that point.
Like,
you want to experience it.
I ordered at least a few Ubers and Lyfts. I had the app for it downloaded. I think it's called like Waymo or something like that. Never pulled the trigger. So maybe next time I go to visit my mom's, I'll make sure I make that shake.
We have that automatic vehicle that like circles our office in the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm. I believe it goes from like the train station to a bunch of businesses that are around the area.
Yeah.
And it's undriven. It's unmanned.
Right.
You just get in and the robot takes you wherever it wants to take you.
Feels like it would be even more dangerous to do that in a place like City Place or downtown because so much more foot traffic.
Yeah.
You know, like I would be more afraid of having that. Though I'm sure the robot cars much more cautious of hitting people than people are because, you know, there's no smartphone to be distracting it. They're not scrolling Twitter, looking through headlines and be like, oh, my God, what is that? Did the Dallas Cowboys just make a trade for a 25-year-old prospect quarterback? Like, that wouldn't happen to a smart car.
No, it wouldn't happen.
They would just know it immediately. It goes right into his brain. They don't have to read it. And that is the news today that shook me a little bit. And again, you know, people out here know Joe Milton. He's actually from the Muck area, from Pahokee. He went and played his college ball at the University of Tennessee. He was a rookie last year behind Drake May, a 6th-round pick, I believe. The Patriots drafted Joe Milton with. But everybody knows him from the rocket arm. He has. It feels like he could probably toss the ball 80 yards on his knees. Like the dude is probably the strongest quarterback in the league, him or Anthony Richardson. But today, the reason why he's in the headlines is because the Cowboys, in search of a backup quarterback, in search of a security blanket for Dak Prescott, they landed on the Patriots backup, Joe Milton. They send over a 5th-rounder, the Cowboys do, for Milton and a 7th-round pick. And this is now in the QB room right now. They lost Cooper Rush. Didn't know your Ravens took Cooper.
Yeah, exactly. The Ravens took Cooper Rush, and Cooper Rush was the type of backup quarterback that any starting quarterback would never look over their shoulder at. It would not be worried about their position on their team. He was a serviceable quarterback room guy that is going to steal your spots. Joe Milton, however, has that untapped possibility of potential. Like you said, 25 years old?
Yep. And that is the difference between what the Cowboys did this morning and what other contending teams, other teams that have their quarterbacks on these massive Supermax contracts, what they usually do in their quarterback rooms. And that's specifically why, again, I'm not a person that has disdain for Dak Prescott. I'm not like that one dude on FS1 that used to play running back for the Chiefs and the Eagles who goes out of his way to ridicule or demean Dak as a quarterback. I more so am a guy that tries to look at it a lot more objectively. You know me. I don't try to bring opinions into this, more so theories. That's why we call it theoretically speaking. We're bringing theories out there. And given the state of that franchise, given Dak Prescott's injury history, and also given the fact that we know what has happened each of the last 2 times the Cowboys has found their heir apparent to their next quarterback, like, it happens in this exact way. An unassuming late-round pick quarterback with his whole career ahead of him comes in at a time where the current starter, who got his job in that same very way, is starting to be injury-riddled, is starting to have production decrease, and you start looking around your division and you're like, damn, they've got a guy, and this guy that we have that we're paying money through the roof for isn't producing wins. He's kicked back on the couch watching the playoffs with us, not just because of the fact that he's not making the playoffs last year, but he was hurt. I believe wholeheartedly that this Joe Milton deal could turn into being the next QB of the Dallas Cowboys. And it's not, again, this is not pull up to hate on Dak Prescott Day. The Dallas area fans have had enough this year. I'm not raining on their parade. I'm shedding some light to them. To him. This is your guy. You thought it was Cooper Rush when he popped in the preseason. No, Cooper's gone. Joe Milton is your guy. So be happy today. Celebrate.
Well, Damien, I'm glad you're back at the City Place Studios because you know where the hockeys are and you know where that thunder crack is. And the last time we were on remote talking about the Dallas Cowboys, we said that we now consider the Dallas Cowboys with the burden of suspicion. Thank you.
Come on.
Where any move that might sound a little bit odd, but it might not completely come off that way. No, we assume that there's something nefarious at foot. Somebody's going to get burned during this, and it might be their favorite child. Dak Prescott was the guy who got the rookie quarterback money, and it was an injury, but it wasn't like he was special before an injury. And you're kind of looking non-committal to Dak Prescott now.
Yeah, they're not only is it non-committal, they have been actively, more so proactively, finding potential replacements for Dak, and they did that all the way up until it was time to pay him. Now, they say that God works in mysterious ways. I like to think that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys work in incredulous ways that make you mystified by what in the world were they trying to aim for. But let me try to peel back a couple of layers here. 2 years ago, the Cowboys tried to go after a distressed asset that was Trey Lance from the San Francisco 49ers in the middle of the season to bring him in to potentially challenge for being the next guy in Dallas. He was a former top 5 pick. The Niners believed in him. They had faith. They obviously felt that he wasn't even good enough to contend for Brock Purdy's job or even the backup spot at that point. So they cut ties. The Cowboys thought maybe we bring this guy in. Maybe he convinces us we don't have to pay Dak Prescott this major payday. Obviously, that doesn't work out. I think Trey Lance still without a job right now.
Yeah, he was another example of the scrap heap where a lot of the quarterbacks went, well, he was an example of they never found something with him.
Yeah, and it didn't work out, and that's cool. That's fine.
It's a bargain.
If you're the Cowboys, and if you are, again, you have your quarterback, Dak Prescott, he's starting this season on a 4-year now, $240 million extension, $60 million a year. You're paying that guy to be the leader of your franchise. He's going to be 31 years old, coming off of that hamstring injury. Generally speaking, you're using most of your draft capital to shore up positions on the field that you expect to complete the puzzle for you to contend in what is going to be a tough division. On the other side of that, not only would you be spending that draft capital on guys that you expect to play now, if you were just trying to fill your quarterback room with a backup that can sub in and help win games for you, you generally don't do that with a prospect.
No.
Joe Milton is a prospect and not a veteran backup. Let me give you an example. All of the other quarterbacks in the NFL who are established, who are on their second or third contracts and are on teams that are pushing to win ball games right now, building towards contending right now, I'll list off their backup quarterbacks, and you tell me how much different that is from bringing in a guy like Joe Milton, who, by the way, he was just a rookie last year. I know he's 25. He was a rookie last season. He has 3 more years on his rookie deal, and they have a lot of time to figure out if he could be the guy going forward.
I remember the story in August was there's a 3-man quarterback battle in New England right now.
Yes.
Like he was contending for that job with Drake May that May eventually won out.
Guy too? It was like, was it Hoyer?
I forget.
It was a random, veteran backup. Mm-hmm. But, yes, it was a 3-man quarterback race there in New England. So let's stay in the AFC East here. Let's go to the AFC East. And the Buffalo Bills have a guy that they just announced a major extension with, and that's Josh Allen. He now surpassed Dak Prescott for the richest contract in NFL history. Josh Allen's backup, Mitch Trubisky.
Okay.
Josh Allen, 26 years old, Mitch, 30.
Not contending with Josh Allen. I think Mitch Trubisky got his chance, made the most out of 1 year, and the rest we kind of fell in line career backup.
Yes, and the good thing about Mitch is he has so many data points, and he's played long enough in the league and been in enough quarterback rooms that he can help Josh Allen prepare, and he also can play in a pinch-hitting role to fill in if, which Josh Allen is indestructible, by the way. But if he does so happen to, tweak an ankle or something, Mitch can fill in. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? Patrick Mahomes has tweaked an ankle here and there, so their backup quarterback has actually had to come in and actually help them win playoff games with Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, they're paying him a lot of money. His backup, not a prospect, but Gardner Minshew, who we know what we're getting out of Gardner. Again, he's a career backup, and he's in the perfect role right there in Kansas City now.
And he embraces that job. He loves that job.
Yeah.
He's fine with that. He's not trying to risk it all for another chance of being a career starter.
Lamar Jackson's about to be paid as the highest quarterback/player in the history of the NFL. We've got that news from John Harbaugh out of the owners' meetings this past week in Palm Beach County. Lamar Jackson's backup, we just talked about it. They took Dak's guy, Cooper Rush, who, again, has shown a propensity to be able to fill in when needed and win games. And Lamar's another guy. I mean, you never know when he's going to get a stomach bug. You never know. You never know when Lamar is just going to be feeling ill and needs somebody to pull up and do it. I think Cooper is a perfect sub-in. It's weird because play styles are different.
Yeah, I was going to say we're used to Tyrod Taylor or even RG3 as a backup for
or Snoop Huntley,
which he was even not much of a mobile quarterback
Yeah.
either. But still, yeah, it's going to be an adjustment period for sure.
It will, but again, he's a guy that showed he could pull up and win games. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, Jake Browning, another guy not threatening for your job, not with his whole career ahead of him, more so his career is mostly behind him. The Justin Herbert Chargers have Taylor Heineke in there, a veteran that has played the backup role, another career number 2 with the clipboard. Even Trevor Lawrence with the Jacksonville Jaguars last year, they said, you know what, let's throw Mac Jones in his QB room. Let's see if there's something left in that, because just in case Trevor doesn't work out, maybe we do reclaim this guy. They realized there was not only was there nothing left in the Mac Jones bucket, it feels like they might have even stripped even more away from him, the kind of options he was left with afterwards. They now have out there in Jacksonville, Nick Mullins. So again, you don't pay a guy $50+ million a year to then go and get a prospect who could potentially be filling in or replacing him in the next few years. That's what the Cowboys did with Joe Milton, and we saw Joe Milton pop in Week 18. He has a lot of hype behind his name, and he has a lot of promise to his game in the future. I'd be a little nervous if I was Dak Prescott right now.
Yeah, if you were to look at all of those backup quarterbacks, and if they had, similar to New Year's resolutions, if they had off-season resolutions, Milton is the only name out of all of the names listed that would say be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, he still has that goal set in mind. He still has reason to believe that he can achieve that goal. Like,
It's
Geno
his second
Smith
year in the league.
It's the second year in the league. And the third quarterback in the Patriots quarterback battle circa 2024 was Jacoby Brissett. How could we forget? It was
I'm
Brissett.
tripping. How did we forget that? Because he was the one that started. He won the job, and we forgot him already. My bad.
It was
My
Jacoby
bad, dog.
Brissett battling with Joe Milton. Drake May was in third place earlier in the August camp for the New England Patriots. So certainly there is something under that where Joe Milton is untapped right now.
Yes, and by the way, the Dwyer alum, Jacoby Brissett, career backup for the most part since having his spots, picking his spots and playing earlier. He's with the Arizona Cardinals, backing up Kyler Murray, another guy that got paid, and you bring a veteran into the locker room. That's the formula across the league, and I get it. The Cowboys do work in incredulous ways. Jerry Jones is not a very pragmatic and very it doesn't seem like a lot of things he does is well thought out. He waits to the last minute to overpay for guys that he could have got a bigger discount on if he just would have settled on a deal earlier. Looks like he's doing that same thing with Micah Parsons. But I say all of this to say Dak Prescott is going to open the door for Milton to play at least a few times over these next few seasons. Not only did he miss the whole back end of last year, I believe a total of 9 games, just 2 years ago, Dak missed like 5 games in that season. That's why Cooper Rush is able to get the contract with the Ravens. He got so many opportunities showing what he could do on the field. Milton is only going to get more of those as Dak gets older and as Dak's actual production has been lessening, and he has 3 years left on that rookie contract. This is a threat. This is a threat to the throne. And if Dak doesn't see it that way, then I'm not sure how else you can.
Now, is this just Jerry holding Dak accountable and saying, like, hey, you got to earn this job again? Which is hard to say that after you give him $60 million.
They're not in a quarterback battle.
But it's not a pushover. It's not a secured spot to where you know for a fact anything can happen and the starting quarterback job is yours, like what Aaron Rodgers had with the Jets last year.
Yeah, no, what it is it's the Cowboys hedging their bet, knowing that there are some insecurities about Dak's future, not just with health. I mean, remember, before Dak went out last year, things were already looking bad for the Cowboys. I believe he had like 11 touchdowns and 8 picks going into that Week 9 game when he eventually would be ruled out for the rest of the year. He wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing up to his 2023 standard when he was second in MVP voting, and Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys won those 12 games before getting bounced by the Packers in the postseason. Like, this was already going off the cliff. Now he's going to be 31 and then 32 and then 33 years old on this new contract with these heightened expectations. And the worst part of it is the Cowboys have done a worse and worse job year over year of building that team and that roster around him. So I just have no confidence in his ability to bring that team, that roster, to the level to be able to contend with the Eagles and the Commanders next year. And that's just in your own division. That's the biggest detriment to the Cowboys and Dak right now is you're now being measured up against the guys who have it all kind of figured out, or at least with Jaden Daniels, he's on the rookie contract, and he has his whole career in front of him. He was a game away from the Super Bowl. I don't know how you can actually clear the new standards set in your own division. So now the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking for Dak.
And you said a couple of weeks ago that you would much rather be in the Giants position than you would in the Cowboys position. Is
clearly.
another example of that?
Yes, exactly. And the Cowboys are showing me that same thing as well, because you do not hedge your bets on a quarterback before his new extension even starts unless you have some deep concerns. And that's what this is all about. This is not saying there's a 100% chance that Joe Milton will be the next quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But this is saying this is like the writing on the wall that they don't believe Dak is going to be able to sustain through the end of this contract he has currently.
You ready for a metaphor?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I got it right up the sleeve.
The metaphor man, Catman. The Catman with a metaphor here on a Thursday out here in Boca.
It is like if one member of a marriage goes and looks at kind of these settlements and looks at maybe the prenup and maybe changes the thing and maybe talks about changing things. It's not that this is a divorce that's going to happen right now. It's that they're taking care of themselves. They're setting a succession plan. They are looking out for their future selves. Now that they're acting on it right now, or maybe they call their lawyer and they ask about it. They don't ask their spouse about it, but they say, hey, can I look at that copy again? I know we're 3 years into this marriage, but I just want to refresh myself on what exactly I lose if this ends.
That's true, and to be honest with you, it even feels like a step further than that, because what you're saying would be almost like them calling and inquiring about what would it take for us to get out of the Dak Prescott contract. At what year would it not hurt us so much to either trade him or cut him, and then we don't have all of that dead cap hit in one place? That would be what you're saying. That's like an inquiry.
But I don't think that would get to us, though, as the media. This is our only symbol.
Okay.
Or the only other example is if Jerry Jones picks up the phone and calls another GM or someone else in the league and asks what they're willing to offer. That would get to the media, too.
Does this signal to you any veracity to the ridiculous report we heard out of Cleveland that the Cowboys might have been shopping Dak Prescott to the Cleveland Browns, which, by the way, makes no sense for either franchise, so I still think it's ridiculous. But does this make you feel like, well, maybe this guy was hearing something that made him jump to other conclusions?
I think that there was like a name on a piece of paper in an office somewhere in the city of Cleveland, and that's it. That they just saw Dak Prescott printed in ink in the city of Cleveland. It could have just been a bank. It could have been a bank statement. Who knows? But yeah, I still don't think that conversation was ever seriously had.
Dak Prescott, great spikes in his career, great contract. Does he fancy himself as somebody who might be a future Pro Football Hall of Famer, C-Cat?
I don't think that trajectory is happening right now.
Yeah.
Something's got to change.
There was like 3 years ago we would have said yes. Even 2023, at the end of 2023, we would have said yes. He's a guy that is on a Hall of Fame track. I think so.
But he is late in his career, dude. I remember
He's 30. He was 31. He was 29, I believe, the year that he finished second in the MVP race to – who was that? Was that the Mahomes MVP year? Or was that the –
I forget.
Lamar. It could have been anybody. Who cares? All I know is it was a couple of years ago that he and CeeDee Lamb down the stretch were darting it up. It only looked bad because of what happened against the Packers at home.
That's
in
true.
The playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, that kind of just makes you look at that season in a whole nother lens.
Yeah, we forgot all about. They won 12 games. 3 straight years?
Yeah, but
Dallas?
MVP. I mean, Hall of Fame is a little bit different level.
I don't think he is.
If he strings together 4 of those seasons, I still don't think that's a Hall of Famer.
You know who I think he has a very comparable career to? If you want to go cross sport comparison here, he's comparable to a Paul George. And it's funny because you think Dak Prescott and Paul George in the same sentence. Most average basketball fans will say, Paul George, Hall of Fame? Hell no. This probably gives more this verifies what you were telling me the other day. People say the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame has a much easier barrier for entry. I was just yesterday when we were talking about Carmelo Anthony, who just got his Hall of Fame. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. We learned that yesterday. Carmelo Anthony, ringless, but definitely had a very celebrated career. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer in the NBA. Dak Prescott, Paul George was somebody that came to mind because of the lack of team success, especially in the back end of his prime. I went to look on Pro Basketball Reference's Hall of Fame predictor, and Paul George has a Hall of Fame probability right now of 0.97, 97% chance of making the Hall of Fame, ahead of Kyrie Irving, ahead of Kawhi Leonard.
My head hurts. I'll be honest.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, that really hurts my head. The only reason I would put pause on Paul George, Dak Prescott comparison is because of the team jumping for Paul George. Like, he had chances a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
Where we can at least ask Dak Prescott if he was drafted elsewhere. Maybe he wouldn't have as hot of a start with Zeke Elliott and that team back in 2016, 2017. But maybe he would have had a better middle half of his career and a better tail end of his career if he was in a different environment.
Here's what I'll say, though. If you're Pro Basketball Reference and you see that your Hall of Fame predictor for probability to make it in has a guy like Paul George over Kyrie Irving and Kawhi Leonard, maybe you tweak the system.
Yeah, fix the formula.
You know, like maybe you tweak the system. Look at some of these other names under Paul George. Draymond Green, Kevin Love, who I can buy. Klay Thompson, 73% for Klay Thompson, but 97% for Paul George. And then Jimmy Butler at 72%. Look at that. Joel Embiid, 66%.
Wow.
I think that it shows me two things. Number one, Paul George's career might be a little overinflated by some of the statistical numbers he's reached and his impact during the regular season. And number two, if you're Tatum and Embiid, who are sitting way below him, like, you got a lot of ground to make up, buddy. Pro Basketball Reference, you got to change some of them things in the algorithm, but y'all got a lot of ground to make up. Ain't time to retire.
How about a football-to-football comparison for Dak Prescott in recent memory? Can I hear Phil Rivers?
Oh, wow.
Phil Rivers, I believe, had more postseason success. Not much more.
Yeah.
But more postseason success.
He made an NFC
over.
Championship game.
Yeah, sure did. And you can point to organizational dysfunction to a reason why he maybe didn't reach his top potential.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about the story of function over at the Dallas Cowboys.
So Phil Rivers or Dak Prescott, whose career is going to, like, when Dak is done, this is a different discussion, but like right now, is Dak on a trajectory right now that would surpass Phil Rivers's? And I think I would agree with you that it's no. I think I would agree with you that it's absolutely not, because think about also the mountain that Phil Rivers had to climb. He was in a tougher AFC than the NFC that Dak has had to battle with. The only guy that's been hovering over him and standing in his way and is now gone was Aaron Rodgers. Like, now what is he dealing with? Jordan Love and freaking Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, you also look at the scrutiny that it's always placed on the Dallas Cowboys organization and by proxy their quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think we find Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as the butt of the joke more often than not, whether it's deserved or not. And we don't really look at the Chargers like that. We always kind of look at Phil Rivers as a good story.
Yeah.
Undersized quarterback with small hands, quirky, weird, gave us really fun, electric offenses. The defenses and special teams had much to be desired about.
When did Phil Rivers become undersized?
I was more just talking about his hands, actually.
Okay. What the hell is Phil Rivers is an undersized quarterback?
Goofy dude who won't curse and has all the kids.
Yeah.
Like, he has more of a well-rounded, we know the person Phil Rivers a little bit more than we know the person Dak Prescott, because he's kind of Mr. Corporate.
If you think of the two people in NFL recent history that are just known for having a hilarious amount of kids, it's Phil Rivers and his former teammate Antonio Cromartie.
Yes.
I wonder if they teamed up on some of that stuff. Went to the same fertility doctor. They could have won titles in that. Champions, man. Champions. Speaking of champions, which Dak Prescott is not, and neither was Phil Rivers. I'd have to check Pro Football Reference to see if Antonio Cromartie ever reached that. I don't have to check Pro Football Reference to know that Kaiser University has 24 national titles to their name. Kaiser University. I'm talking about football. I'm talking about golf. I'm talking about women's swimming and diving, men's swimming and diving. They do it all at KU. They've also got more than 60 regular season and postseason tournament titles and a Learfield Cup trophy to their name. Get the latest on Kaiser Seahawks athletics, KUSeahawks.com. KUSeahawks.com. It's the land of the champs. Right over there, hashtag defending the beach, Kaiser University, KUSeahawks.com. Check out their schedules, see what they have left this spring, and also, some spring ball going on out there with those Seahawks. They were the national titles champion winners 2 years ago. Last year, they made it to the title game. I know head coach Miles Russ gearing up to bring the fellas right on back. KUSeahawks.com, the latest on Kaiser Seahawks athletics. CCAT being this close to the 10th tee here at the old course at Broken Sound, is it giving you the itch to break out the clubs?
Man, I really do.
Yeah.
I only have my putter in my car today.
Why? Why would you be rolling around with just a putter? No wedge either?
No, just a putter, because I want to putt in the control room, like where I'm usually in the station behind the glass, and just putt. And But I can't, accidentally forget my putter at work when I play around at golf, so I'm going to do a little in-between action. We're just leave it in the car on a day that I know that I can go putt in the office.
Do you cover it with a blanket or something, keep it off the sun?
No, I probably should. We have a garage, so not too bad.
That's true. But what about your home? You have a garage at home?
Well, I'm going to take it out of my car.
So you take it, you don't forget it. You remember to take it out of your car every time you get.
It goes phone, wallet, keys, putter.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you are a real golf head. You're a real I believe in the cat now. I thought that you didn't have it. I believe in the cat right now. Plus, I took up your tip of last week of pulling up to our spot, the house, and checking out that putting range.
Yeah.
Balled out.
Right?
Yeah, it was great. Absolutely great. I had a couple awkward moments that happened there. I did not realize that the putting green they have there is actually like a little
You're one of those. Yes.
It happened to
I'll
other
talk
people
to you
too.
off the air because it's
Yeah.
a very niche, unimportant to everybody else's world conversation.
Yes.
But we hate you, by the way.
I got some trouble. You know what I did?
What?
The worst thing ever. I hit somebody's ball back towards them. I'm like, oh, we're practicing too? I said, here you go, buddy. They're like, yeah, we're in the middle of a round here. I said, oh, sorry. So maybe I give more on that as well on the other side. Zaslow, Jonathan Zaslow is going to be joining us. He is the voice of the 305 right here on Theoretically Speaking. He'll give us an update on a little bit of a heat index, a little bit of a Panther pull-up, all kind of stuff, Miami. So stick around for that. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're live from the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Embark on a culinary road trip through South Florida at the 2025 Orange Bowl Food and Wine Celebration, presented by Florida Blue. An evening of foodie fun awaits on Friday, April 11th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, with unlimited food and drink tastings from over 40 of South Florida's top restaurants and chefs, and dance the night away with the live band and DJ. Tickets start at just $125, and proceeds benefit Orange Bowl Care's community initiatives. Get your tickets at orangebowl.org.
You don't get enough credit. You're an MVP, handling work, life, and sports knowledge like a pro. So here's your moment. You're crushing it. ESPN 106.3 approves.
Introducing the bold, the powerful, the all-new 2025 Range Rover Sport P360 SE. A luxury SUV that commands attention with its refined design, dynamic performance, and cutting-edge technology. Lease the 2025 Range Rover Sport for just $12.99 per month for 36 months. Drive in style, power, and comfort, all for just $12.99 a month. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take the new Range Rover Sport for a spin. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
It's the Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. 2 bets facing off. Winning side splits $250K in bonus bets every single day. Time to pick a side. Team underdogs or team favorites. Team over or team under. There's one way to settle this. Hard Rock Bet Battle of the Bets. Pick a side for $1. Win your share of $250K or more today. Prize pool will be paid out in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. What's going on? Our show ended hours ago. I'm supposed to be home by now. People are expecting me. Let me out of here. Hey!
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
We are closing in on Final Four action. That's right, man. It's like right there. It's right around the corner. Can't wait to get the results from that. We also are closing in on the official tee-off of the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational as the PGA Champions Tour has made its way to Boca Raton, the old course at Broken Sound. That's where CCAT and I are. The Pro-Am going down. We got a bunch of Pro Football Hall of Famers out here. CCAT, I ran into Lawrence Taylor, LT, who is renowned for frequenting the golf courses out here in South Florida. I asked him how it was going. He told me, you already know what it is. We whoop their ass. So I'm going to have to get that verified. I told him, I said, look, I have access to the scorecards. I'm going to find out. So we'll give you an update on how exactly he did finish. But I have no doubts that LT, who does nothing but golf these days, probably did decent.
That's true, but he also could just say whatever he wants and trust that you don't find that
scorecard.
I
was not going to check him. Also,
yeah.
I just was like, I'll take a look at it, but you keep doing your thing, buddy. I don't want you to – don't turn on me. And a man who would never turn on us joins us now. In fact, he doesn't just join us as a friend. He doesn't just join us as a regular contributor to Theoretically Speaking. He does so as the voice of the 305. Hit it.
You might know him as the Cooper City Rattlesnake. He's the human flamethrower of Miami sports radio.
Hey, you could be a maniac without being a jerk.
The preacher of the Pat Riley gospel.
They don't complain. They don't make excuses. This is the NBA. Deal with it.
The mayor of Dolphins Delusion.
Can the Bills offense keep up with the Dolphins offense?
And the only guy who can go from breaking down the Panthers power play to cutting a full-blown Ric Flair promo. Woo! Jonathan Zaslow is the voice of the 305.
Oh, man, Zaz is in the house. How you feeling, man? How you feeling with that intro?
What an introduction. I got my own imaging. I mean, this is a big news day. I was not aware that this was happening. That is an excellent job out of you guys.
Well, I will say CCAT helped write it, and also I introduced it, so we both did equal.
Yeah. How about that? And,
I felt tremendous. I love that. Great job out of you guys. Thank you.
I felt I had to make up for an unfortunate interaction that I had with Zaslow over text last week. I have a new phone, and this new phone has autocorrect. I was not operating with autocorrect, and nickname for Jonathan Zaslow via text is Zaz, Z-A-S. Apparently, when you autocorrect Zaz, it goes to Dad. So I said, hey, Dad, good for 2:30 tonight, and he didn't call me on it. I corrected what another word in the sentence was, because that also got autocorrected, but he just kind of let it blow by, and I had to come in like 3 hours later and say, haha, didn't mean Dad, autocorrect, my bad. So I had to overcompensate for that.
I know. I felt bad for him because he had a couple of errors, like he said, and he corrected one of them. He didn't correct the dad part, so I had to go back. It's okay, son. Don't worry about it.
But I'll be honest. If I made the dad mistake with anyone, I'm happy it was Zaslow. I'll be honest.
Oh, thank you.
Because I feel like
I appreciate it, son.
What does
Thank
that
you.
mean? Wait, pause. Pump the brakes. What does that mean? Is he the most fatherly figure that you would hear in radio, or
fatherly? I think would understand the trials and tribulations. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. We're going to be talking some Pro Football Hall of Famers. If I accidentally called Dan Marino Dad, I don't think I want that on my record. I'll be honest. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's true. I think it's a beautiful compliment the way you look up to. Listen. I'm your father. Okay? All right,
yes.
I'm your father.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh my God, that is absolutely hilarious, and the fact that he corrected another word in that text and did not realize the previous mistake is what like underlines how just great of a moment that was. So I'm glad y'all shared in that embrace. Always good to see a good father-son connection. So does that make you are you now the new Bronny of Sports Talk Radio as well?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, some behind the scenes as to why I've gotten to where I'm gotten. You don't get a billboard on 95 without being.
I don't think that's true because in this case, Bronny got to the radio station before LeBron did. You know. So I don't think that's true, actually.
This is different. Yeah, this is be like a son being able to kind of put his pops on, which to me it makes it even more special. Zaz, the Heat are streaking in the wrong freaking direction. Are we even happy about this right now? They have the longest winning streak in the Eastern Conference. They've won 6 in a row, but this is only hurting our lottery odds.
Well, I mean, we're happy about it because it's always at Boston, all right? And last night, you know, the Heat put a beat down on them. Pelle Larsson sunned Jason Tatum throughout the entire game, so we love that. We're good with the win streak because it's not like the Heat were ever going to fall out of the play-in.
Right.
Even after the 10-game losing streak, they were still like 5 or 6 games ahead of Toronto. They were never not going to be in the play-in. Now, you know, the question still remains, are they good enough? Are they going to be able to get a playoff spot? All right, so they were going to be in the play-in before the winning streak. They're still going to be in the play-in during the winning streak. But now you look at the standings, and, okay, they're only one back of 7 and 8. All right. And that makes it a lot more interesting because if you finish 7 or 8, you only have to win one game. You got 2 chances to win one to get into the playoffs. When if you're 9-10, which where the Heat currently sit, you have 1 chance to win 2. All right. And potentially both of them are on the road. So the only thing that's changed here is whether or not the Heat are going to have an easier chance of making the playoffs. They were never going to miss out entirely.
The weird part about this, Zaz, and again, they are locked into the play-in at the very least right now. The weird part about this is the Heat are standing directly in the most like disadvantageous position in sports, specifically in the NFL and the NBA. They are like hovering right around mediocrity. They are literally even when it comes to point differential. They're 35-41 with a good chance to actually close the season at a perfect 500 record. It kind of reminds me of, what was that, 3 or 4 years ago? Oh, it was before Jimmy Butler. Was it 2018 or 2019?
2017.
There it is. Well, 2017 when the Heat had that hodgepodge of like James Johnson and Deion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside. 11-30 before the All-Star break, and then the opposite afterwards, I believe, to finish the season 41-41. This feels similar.
This team is better than that one, even though that one went on an incredible run. You know, like you mentioned, 30-11 in the second half of the season just to miss out on the playoffs. This team is better than that one, but I don't believe that they've really ruined anything by winning these games here. And what I mean by that is, even if they wind up making the playoffs. So if they make the playoffs, they're completely out of the Cooper Flag sweepstakes because you can't be a lottery team. If they wind up losing in the play-in, okay, then they're in the lottery. But even if that's the case, we're talking like a 3% chance where they're currently slated. It's not like they're giving away some type of real chance to win the lottery. We're talking about a 3% chance if they wind up missing out. Now, I'm not going to sit here. A couple years ago, when the Heat were in a similar spot, and it was Wembanyama who was the number 1 overall pick, and the Heat fan is like, oh, I hope they miss the play-in. I want them to get a chance for Wembanyama. I was not in on that, all right, because that team still had Jimmy Butler. And as we saw, that was a team who made it to the NBA Finals. Don't mistake yourself. This is not that version of the Heat. All right, this is not that team. This team's not winning a first-round series. This is not a very good team. They're certainly a lot better than a team to lose 10 games in a row, but this is not a team that's winning a first-round series. And either way, the chances are so minuscule that they get the number 1 overall pick in Cooper Flag anyway.
I get that. A man can hope. A man can hope. A man can dream. And as the Final Four, we're sitting on the precipice of that Final Four, I expect Cooper Flagg to put on a show that is going to have even more teams faking star injuries down the stretch and benching guys, as we've been seeing happen all throughout the league, and we see year over year. Jonathan Zaslow joining us here on ESPN 106.3 on Theoretically Speaking. He is of ESPN Radio and host of Zaslow Show 2.0. Let's talk a little football here. Better chance to steal the starting job in their NFL franchises. Joe Milton, who just got moved over to the Cowboys and now sits behind Dak Prescott, or the Wonder Boy, Zach Wilson, who sits now behind your Dolphins quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa?
I mean, the answer is neither. You know, but when we say steal the job, like that means outplay them at either in
pump the
training
brakes. Jazz, not that. You're right. They're not going to win the job in camp. They're not in quarterback competitions. I more so mean whose future with their franchise is more threatened by this guy being behind them, because both quarterbacks have had a history of injuries, a history of missing games over the past few seasons, and that means we're likely going to see Joe Milton and Zach Wilson in regular season games that matter for both of these teams.
Well, I think by default it's Zach Wilson, all right? And Zach Wilson is still a guy who, what was he, the number 2 overall pick in the draft? Yeah. I mean, still a guy who was a very, very high draft pick. So, I guess he gets a second chance here with the Dolphins. And to his injury history, we know he's going to miss games. Now, it's not as if Tua's going anywhere anytime soon. From what I understand, it's still probably another 2 seasons when we're talking salary cap implications with Tua, where if things go totally awry, it would be at least 2 years before the Dolphins can realistically decide to move on from Tua. So that's the only reason I'm going Zach Wilson. I don't think Joe Milton has any type of realistic future with the Cowboys. I mean, Jerry Jones with the Stars, you're not going with Joe Milton here.
But he has 3 years left on his deal. He's his second year in the league. He's 25 years old with a rocket arm. You don't think he could sub in and do what he did week 18, just make a few pop plays, win a game or two? And with Dak, who a hamstring injury for a 31-year-old quarterback, and the fact that he keeps getting season-ending injuries, that's not a great sign for his longevity.
Yeah, I think they're so committed to Dak and giving him every single chance they possibly can to him being the Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Jerry loves the stars, okay? I don't mean the logo, all right? And Dak Prescott's the star. I think they're totally committed to Dak Prescott. And the only reason I say Zach Wilson, it's really by default, like I said, and that's because Tua probably has less time as far as the money situation goes, as far as the commitment from the team.
Well, we'll see then. We'll see how that pans out. It does make it interesting from both sides, because you see both franchises did not choose veteran backups. They didn't choose stopgap guys that could just fill in and help their starting quarterback prepare. They chose guys who have most of their future ahead of them in the NFL. And, again, it's more so to me, it feels like they're hedging their bets a bit there, Zaz. We'll see how all of that shakes out. But where can people find more of your straight-to-the-line, Miami-centric content that is on Zaslow Show 2.0?
Yes, everything 305 related, everything Miami related, all your Dolphins, Heat, Panthers, all the good stuff, right? Zaslow Show 2.0, wherever you get your podcast, you just punch in Zaslow Show 2.0, Monday through Friday, wherever you get your podcast. And every episode is brought to us by Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. You're involved in any kind of an accident, you're dealing with a personal injury, they have a specific set of skills they put to work for you. They get you the compensation you deserve. Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733.
Zaz, appreciate your time. Say goodbye to your son.
Son, always good catching up to you. I love being able to share these moments with you.
See you, Pops.
This is great. That was Jonathan Zaslow. Thanks as always for your time. And he joined us, C-Cat's dad, and also the voice of the 305, joined us here on Theoretically Speaking, courtesy of the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting BaptistHealth.net/ortho. That was Zaz on the Baptist Health Hotline. We need no hotline for our next guest, who is a name that generally needs no introduction around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. You know him from all of his great golf events. We're at one of them right now, the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. So stick around for he and his great presence on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're theoretically speaking from the old course at Boca Raton's Broken Sound on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Miami, we know you can party, and we know you love your golf. So don't miss out, because the next Live Golf event isn't just big, it's a monster. Live Golf returns to Trump National Doral, April 4th to 6th. And because it's at Blue Monster, we're going big, as well as giants of the game in Rahm, DeChambeau, Koepka, and more. We've got huge DJ sets, epic street food, and ska punk legend Sublime headlining. Grab your tickets at livegolf.com. That's livegolf.com.
The college basketball mania is here, so grab your MVP card and head on over to Duffy's to enjoy their courtside favorites, famous award-winning jumbo wings, certified Angus beef burgers, and 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. You'll never miss a minute of the action. And while it's tournament time, it's also Taste of Ireland time with special items like Irish potato skins and a Reuben burger. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to find a Duffy's near you. And remember, Duffy's, our game is always on.
When you're in pain and an hour seems like a day seems like a month, there's only one place to go for your treatment. Pain Care Florida. Our pain management specialists have the knowledge and experience in state-of-the-art procedures to relieve pain and get you moving. Time waits for no one, especially when you're in pain. Visit paincareflorida.com. Pain Care Florida. Stop hurting, start living today.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Oh, man, it is going down per usual. And you know you are at a Ken Kennerly produced event when the stars are out, the drinks are being passed left and right. There's the vibes plus the golf, and that's what we're getting right here as we're at the Pro-Am for the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking. C-Cat right here, and to my left, if you're watching us on the YouTube stream at ESPN West Palm, the man himself, Executive Director of the tournament, Ken Kennerly. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, buddy. Man, look at this. I've never seen myself in a computer before. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, you don't do FaceTimes? You don't do Skypes or anything like that? Zoom?
No, we just saw Kenny Duke walk by. I tell you, I love seeing smiles on the faces of the professionals and the NFL Hall of Famers. We're having a blast out here, and it's, we haven't even started the tournament yet.
That's what I was about to say. Like, you really tee this thing off here this coming weekend. But between the Legends Shootout last night, which we'll get to, today's Pro-Am, where you have these Pro Football Hall of Famers who are literally just walking the grounds here, teeing off, taking pictures with fans. I saw the autographed, equipment, the helmets, and the posters and stuff in there. I'm like, oh, my gosh. There's a helmet in there that has so many autographs. It's a white helmet so littered with autographs that from far out, it looks like it's a black helmet. Like that many different, you know what I'm saying? Like that much writing on it. That's because all the legends are out here. How crazy is it to see these guys that you remember watching on Sundays just walking around here having fun?
Well, it's terrific. That was part of the strategy 18 months ago when, we met with the Hall of Fame. And, this was a concept that we've been, really trying to conjure up for a while. And, when TimberTech left, it was important for us to make sure we keep an event here in South Florida. Of course, formerly the Honda Cognizant is up in North County. So it's important for our community to have these big events. I mean, first of all, we're broadcasting around the world. So people are looking at Palm Beach County, which is awesome. The growth that we've seen in this county has been terrific. And we want to make sure that we have an event that, frankly, brings the big spotlight to South County. And, when you partner with the NFL and the Hall of Fame, I mean, you're partnering with the most powerful sports organization in North America. All the eyeballs are on football, and we've seen the fan base out here. Our ticket sales are ahead of budget. We're seeing, helmets out here, footballs out here. People are getting that sign, which is kind of cool because you hadn't seen that at a golf tournament before. But, for us, it's about, creating the entertainment venue, because creating a lot of fun. And again, the NFL guys, I mean, you've seen them. I mean, they're walking around, they're having a great time. We just had a meeting with the the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and they're saying literally everybody is raving about this experience. I think, honestly, Theo, going into it, I don't think these guys really, some of them did, but totally understood how big an event this is and how much they are literally put on the pedestal, because it's about them as much as it is about the golf side.
Right, and it's funny, we talked all about the Pro Football Hall of Famers. Also, a lot of very high-level golfers here, obviously, because you got the PGA Tour champions that's here. It is it's a who's who when it comes to just sports stars and legends that we've watched. For you, who has been one of the persons that you didn't expect to have this much enthusiasm around this event that instantly got here and was like, yo, he's all the way tapped into it?
Well, I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
The golf side is, I don't want to say easy. We do that for a living. That's what we've done. And we've created more entertainment around our golf tournaments like we used to do up there at the Honda. And it's, the footballers are having a blast. I mean, John Daly yesterday, and let's talk about the shootout in a minute, but Daly was having an absolute blast. But then you got Warren Sapp and Lawrence Taylor and Marshall Falk and all these, Rondé Barber. I mean, it goes, but they're all having a blast too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I knew everybody would be happy and pleased here, but I didn't realize the enthusiasm would be as high as it is. Now, as some of the guys have said, I've only played 2 rounds, 2 Pro-Am rounds, and I'm going to play 2 more. We'll see if my body can get through this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, you were in the NFL for how many years, and you play golf 6 days a week as it is now, so what's the difference? And they're like, well, it's a tournament, and, it's obviously a little bit more serious, but it's going to be great. And, to answer your question, just everybody, actually, the response from them has been great.
Legend Shootout. What is that? How did it go? And who came out victorious? Because if you ask Lawrence Taylor, he won everything that he's touched part of here. And I don't know if I can believe the guy. You give us the real report of what happened last night.
So we created this concept. It's called the Legend Shootout, presented by AutoNation, our great partner there, and Black Diamond Development, general contractors. And it's 5 holes of golf. So we started at 5:30 last night, and we had 4 teams of 2, 4 professional golfers, and 4 NFL Hall of Famers. And it was a 2-man scramble, so 4 2-man teams, a scramble event up there. The Tour Pros teed up from their tees, and the Hall of Famers teed up from their tees. And, as the scramble is, you take the best ball and you go. So our teams were John Daly and Warren Sapp. So that was pretty interesting.
Flying the wall there.
Oh, yes. Oh, and they were all mic'd up, too, by the way.
Well, you can't use those mics, I'm sure. Those mics, every other word.
Yeah, Warren was, he's like, I'm not putting on a mic. So I can't control myself. I said, okay, I got it. But, they were all mic'd up. So Warren and John Daly. Then we had Lawrence Taylor and Jerry Kelly. And they got along like a house on fire. It was absolutely terrific. We had Gary Williams from the Golf Channel that introduced these teams, and he's so good. And the accolades for the golfers are great. But then when he got to like LT, the best ever, and then Warren Sapp, the best ever, it's really, really cool. Then we had Miguel Angel Jimenez playing with Marshall Falk, who is a phenomenal athlete, and he's probably a scratch or 1 handicap player. I mean, he's that good. The Tour Pros were saying, had he focused on golf instead of football, he'd probably be out here with us.
Wow, really?
He's that good. He's that good.
Gracious.
And then the 4th team was Darren Clark, big old great Darren Clark from Ireland, multiple major winner with Rondé Barber, from the Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody had a terrific time. But to answer your question, the big winner, LT was in the money, but he wasn't the winner.
Okay.
The winner was Marshall Falk and Miguel Angel Jimenez. And they played for, it was a couple $1,000s a hole. We had a couple close to the pin and long drive contests as well. So the money got spread around, but the big, Miguel is, with the cigars going and all that stuff, and it was fun. But, I think more importantly, Theo and guys, it's what we're trying to do is build the brand, right? We're thinking outside of the box. We're trying to create events for people to come here, so it's not just about watching tee to green golf. It's about having fun. We brought Goslings in. Malcolm Gosling's a good friend, of course, the Goslings Bear Trap. So they're down here, open to the public structure. And, we're going to see how that goes. And, our ticket sales, as I said, are ahead of budget. It's $30 to come out for the next 3 days, per day. And we've got a lot of open to the public structures. And, of course, your proper bill at 18, 16 is going to be a lot of fun with the Goslings. And tomorrow is Folds of Honor Friday. So we're recognizing the military. We'll have the national anthem will be sung about 10:15. We will have a Navy SEALs Team 6 gentleman hit the first ball to begin the competition. So it's going to be exciting. And, I think this community is really starting to understand what we're doing here. When I say this community, not just Boca, I mean from Broward County to Middle and North County, and we're pulling other people in because, again, we got the Hall of Famers, and, of course, you got the best legends of golf. So we have the legends of golf, legends of football together playing in this tournament.
It's legendary right there, man. You. I know this gets C-Cat excited. I told him he's this close to a tee box. He's been golfing like every other day.
I might we're giving away a Titleist James Hardy Invitational from the Pro Football Hall of Fame bag. Like, we're giving away in about 40 minutes.
Awesome.
I almost wanted to just take it and imagine I had clubs and walk the course myself. But I got to say, an event like this, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is a fraternity that you had to earn your way in, not by being a freshman in college, by being the best at what you do. I got to imagine this will spread like wildfire in terms of the word. You put it on a good event this year, you're going to have everyone knocking on your door to want to compete in this event to get with the guys and play some good golf.
Well, I mean, as an example to that, and thanks for saying that, because Andre Reed at Tuesday night at our what we normally call a pairings party was the draft party. Where the teams were picked and all that. But Andre Reed was walking around with his phone going, okay, guys, here's what you missed. Here's what you missed out on. Because to your point, these are ambassadors for the event. And the more fun they have, they're going to talk it up. So there are guys that were invited that didn't make it this year for whatever reason, conflicts or whatnot. And I think you're right. I think they'll be back. Now, again, so that Tuesday night event, the Hall told us yesterday, that was the 3rd largest event gathering of Hall of Famers during the year. First being Enshrinement Weekend.
Right. Makes sense.
Second being Super Bowl.
Yep.
Third was us.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because we have 38 Hall of Famers here this week, and they wore their gold jackets to the Broken Sound Country Club, which, by the way, is a phenomenal host. That's where we are here at the Old Course. And we have some great photos of them up on stage in their gold jackets, and it was just so cool. But for us to be the third largest event gathering, for the Hall, it's just really neat. And then last Thursday, a week ago, we had an evening with Jack Nicklaus. At Royal Palm. So, Jack came, Jimmy Roberts interviewed him, and it was 100 people, very high-end exclusive evening. It all went to charity. It was $1,000 a head. It all went to the charity. And Jack, it was a Q&A with Jack. Jack's 85, and he's actually very, very much with it. It's fantastic. And Jimmy was, they were having some back and forth. But again, that was kind of the kickoff of what we're doing is, the more we can spread out our brand and get people to really embrace what we're doing, it's good. And you guys are a big part of it. I mean, you guys have always been a great partner of all sport in Palm Beach County, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it is awesome to be baked in on it. I'm curious. Look, they say copycat league. I don't think you can even mimic this because pairing up with the Pro Football Hall of Fame with James Hardy and making it all shake like this is kind of super unique, one of a kind, and it's right here in Palm Beach County. And I'm glad you talked about the fact that you have more tickets remaining. Where can people get tickets to be able to pull up over these next couple of days and watch this action in person?
Well, it's great. Thanks for asking. At JamesHardyInvitational.com. Now, Hardy is HARDIE, so JamesHardyInvitational.com. And speaking of James Hardy, look, Aaron Erder, their CEO, is here. I mean, if it wasn't for Aaron's vision and understanding of our vision, we wouldn't be here. And, Hardy is a phenomenal building products company, Hardy board, Hardy plank. People that build homes have the Hardy board on the side. I mean, they're the leader in the space. And, again, it takes your title sponsors to do that. But it also takes other great partners. And I've got to say the city of Boca Raton has always been phenomenal. I mean, this event's been 18 years in the running now, and Boca's always been right behind it. The Sports Commission's been behind it. Of course, ADT and, Celebrity Cruises and Auto News. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I think what we're really seeing is people are paying attention. And I think this year is just the beginning of what is going to turn into a very, very successful event. And again, for charity, because between the Boca Raton Regional Hospital, First Tee, and Habitat for Humanity, those are our three primary beneficiaries, and then some others. So, that's what the tour is all about.
And they put their money where their mouth is. Literally, as I got here, I saw the Habitat for Humanity do one of their ceremonies to give the homeowner their keys, and that work started, like you said, 18 months ago when you started shifting towards this event. Ken Kennerly, Executive Director of the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational, happening right now. Again, JamesHardyInvitational.com. Get your tickets today. Pull up on us and stick around here on ESPN 106.3 because we have with us this Titleist James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational golf bag that we'll be giving away. Stick around to figure out how we'll be doing so. Maybe you have to outdrive Ken Kennerly. Maybe that's the rule.
Oh, that won't take much these days. Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, man.
And we'll be seeing you out here. Stick around for the happy hour here on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is ESPN 106.3's Mike Rizzo, and recently I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Curtis J. Keppert. Dr. Keppert is an orthopedic surgeon who specializes with injuries in the shoulder, elbow, and knee. And Dr. Keppert loves getting an athlete back to 100% and where they need to be.
Just their desire to get back to, the thing that they love to do, and taking them through a low point when somebody gets an injury and when it is, especially when it's a surgical problem, they know maybe an ACL, they're going to be dealing with this for a year before they can get back, and just taking them through that low point, fixing the problem, and then guiding them through that recovery, and then you see them back out there playing, and it's the best feeling ever.
That's Dr. Curtis J. Keppert with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. For physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Get ready for the Fast and Fully Charged social media giveaway for the E-Prix. Coming to Homestead Miami Speedway Saturday, April 12th. We're giving you a shot at winning a 4-pack of tickets to experience the high-speed, electrifying world of Formula E. Visit our Facebook page, find the E-Prix photo, and post that you're charged up to race. Each week, we'll pick 2 lucky winners. Enter the Fast and Fully Charged giveaway today. Get your tickets at HomesteadMiamiSpeedway.com.
Get ready to elevate your driving experience with the all-new 2025 Range Rover Velar P250 Dynamic SE, a stunning blend of luxury, performance, and technology that will make every drive unforgettable. Right now, you can lease the new Velar for just $759 per month for 36 months. Yes, only $759 a month for a luxury SUV that sets new standards on the road. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Inter Miami fans, the passion, the drama, the pink smoke, it's all here on ESPN 106.3. I'm Mike Rizzo, and every week on Pink Smoke, we break down the biggest moments, the boldest plays, and everything you need to know about Messi, Inter Miami, and the road to glory. Luis Suarez blasted that one near post. Take a bow. Don't miss Pink Smoke, the ultimate Inter Miami show every Wednesday at 6 here on ESPN 106.3.
When you see that pink smoke.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is me, Theo Dorsey. We still at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational Pro-Am. We have, CCAT, we have been inundated with some great golf. We see right here off of the 10th tee. We've been seeing folks drive, and we also just got word back from a Hall of Fame running back, Marshall Faulk, who's humble. He's very humble about how he played. We heard from Ken Kennerly on the other side, the executive director of this tournament, that Faulk is like practically a scratch golfer.
Yeah.
And that he won the Legends Shootout yesterday, or at least won the bulk of the money. He was like, yeah, I did all right. We played fair.
Yeah, I thought a very interesting detail from Ken Kennerly about that was not just that he's either a +1 or a scratch golfer, but that the members of the PGA Champions Tour were saying that he could have been a pro golfer if he didn't go into the NFL and pursue football, because it is a very large gap from scratch golfer to professional golfer.
Yeah.
They say it is a bigger gap from scratch golfer to pro golfer than it is from a 28 handicap to a scratch golfer.
Sheesh.
Like, that is how big that difference is, to be able to handle the pressure, the mental toll, and to shape your shots and to score on these pro holes like these pros do. To say that Marshall Faulk could have done that, that's awesome.
I mean, I believe it when you think about a guy like that who was able to elevate his game to a level where he was not just a good running back, but part of maybe the single greatest offensive unit we've ever seen, the greatest show on turf. and turn in his career for a gold jacket. I mean, it all lines up. These elite level athletes, they could go different routes and likely have a lot of success. Some people say that about Stephen Curry, who obviously is going to be a Hall of Fame basketball player. Some people say he could have been a professional golfer, and there's hints, right? There's rumors that he would consider doing some PGA Tour action following his playing career. Now, the things that I think would pump the brakes on that are, number one, when you spend all of your life in pro sports, because remember, he's a child of Dale Curry, who was an NBA player. He has been a pro since he's turned the ripe age of being an adult, like 21 years old or so, out of Davidson, and he's a big family man. So that's giving up a lot of your personal time if you are actually going to try to play in the PGA Tour, even if he waited until he could be on the Champions Tour. I just don't think that he would give up more of his life to professional sports. But then you could argue the other side of it. He's so addicted to playing professionally, he's so addicted to playing golf that he wouldn't mind it. I don't know.
It's very interesting because on one end, I would say it's got to be tough from going to the top of the world, Steph Curry being known as the greatest man who could ever shoot a basketball, to going to working your way up. But then again, there's exemptions, and a lot of these tournaments would love to have Steph Curry compete on their course for 2 to 4 days.
Yeah.
And even if he didn't, by letter of the law, earn his way there, that's why they have exemptions there.
Exactly.
That's why you have Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler maybe admitted to some tournaments that they have not played very well this year. But you know what? Spieth and Fowler sell tickets, and so would Steph Curry.
Those are business decisions. That's what you call that. And he's a guy that's already played in some celebrity matches and done extremely well. Curry is a guy who I know for sure will stay glued to the business side of golf and progressing the game of golf. He has his underrated tour, which prioritizes diversifying golf going forward. We've seen him do events here in Palm Beach County at the House West Palm, at the park. We saw him do and bring that tour down here to try and further his commitment to diversifying the game of golf as well as staying glued to the business side of it. I won't be surprised. Whatever he does post-basketball, it's definitely going to be in golf. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to pick it up and play some professionally, but at the very least, I know he will be playing. Like we talked to Lawrence Taylor, not here on the air, but over there in the lunchroom, and he spends most of his life on the golf course. You think about a guy like Marshall Faulk. Obviously, clearly, he's locked in on the game of golf and it's been his second career and he loves it. Why wouldn't Curry in retirement be that kind of guy, that kind of dude, man?
Well,
I can see it.
He played in one of those TNT Turner Sports
the match,
matches.
yeah.
And it takes a lot of self-confidence in your golf game to just roll the cameras live, unedited. It's one thing to set your camera up on your phone, record your couple shots, 3 are bad, 4 are good. You show everyone the 4 that are good ones.
Gardner
Yes.
there, yeah.
I'm glad you're picking up where I'm dropping. But when you roll a live broadcast, you are exceptionally vulnerable, and you're going to be very secure in your golf game.
It feels like at this point, Steph Curry might even love golf more than he does basketball, and that's not an understatement.
What are you talking about? That's your NBA Finals rooting interest team, the Warriors.
No, it's not a bad thing. If you were to put him on some truth serum and say, which sport do you love more between golf and basketball, it's likely he would choose golf. Not to say he doesn't care about basketball. He still loves the game, but it's also he's been over-inundated with it, right? Like he's ready to move on to some new kind of venture, and that's the perfect platform.
I think it's fair to say that Steph Curry conquered the game of basketball.
Yeah, he's done.
He's
good.
done kind of all he can do outside of, again, we talk about how the GOAT debate gets a real wrench in the gears if Steph Curry gets another ring.
I wanted to have
year.
CK. Come on.
That'd be very interesting. And the golf is the unconquerable game. That's the thing about it. The challenge will always be there, and that's why so many pro athletes gravitate toward it after their playing careers in their respective sport dies down.
The reason golf is such an addictive sport is because people fool themselves into believing that dopamine is tied to achievement or dopamine is tied to success, where essentially dopamine is actually tied to the chase. That the dopamine rush you get in your brain is tied to you actually craving a chase or chasing after something. And like you said, golf always keeps you chasing, and that's why for so many athletes who love competing, love playing at a high level, golf is always going to challenge them mentally and sometimes physically as well, and that's what you get out here at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. Legendary golfers and legendary football players taking to the tees at the Old Course at Broken Sound Country Club. This is the Pro-Am. We'll be here, Russo and Rizzo as well, through the end of today's festivities, and tomorrow they tee off right around 10:30. JamesHardyInvitational.com to get your tickets. Tap in, and look at this. Did you see the headline? Adam Schefter.
Yeah, you showed me your phone. Did I see Geno Smith getting paid?
Geno Smith is headed to the bank following his move from the Seahawks to the Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith now has committed to a new 2-year deal. 2 years, $85.5 million. That's reported by Adam Schefter of ESPN. $66 million of that guaranteed. Geno is tied to Vegas through 2027 now. And actually, he amended it. Schefter amended his tweet already because, as you know, when you first send out a report, it's usually just through the agent of the player. He always puts the higher numbers out front. So Schefter amended it. It's actually a 2-year, $75 million extension. Could be worth up to $85 million. But, again, this is the Raiders committing to Geno Smith over the next couple of years. Can you blame them? You seem like you're incredulous about this.
That's a lot of money, man.
It's just 2 years.
All right,
just
fair
2
enough.
years. It's a lot of money. And, again, I think it's market rate for a guy like Geno Smith. But if you are Pete Carroll, this is doubling down on what I said before. If you hire a 70-plus-year-old head coach like Pete Carroll, who does not have to be doing this, if you have Tom Brady, now a new part of ownership and likely the head decision-maker for football operations, he's not willing to sit back and lose and tread the wheels with somebody who might not have the facilities altogether. Geno Smith is a respectable starting quarterback. Not only that, I think he's like a top 10 to 12 quarterback in the NFL. He just doesn't have the name value or the propaganda machine behind him. I think that's good for the Raiders, and I think that they need to continue to play out the rest of the offseason and next year in the eyes of we want to contend, maybe not for a Super Bowl, but to make the playoffs, right, to build a winning culture out there. I think that would be smart for them. It's a good foundation.
The last golf event from the PGA Tour was the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches that we were live from, and now we're at another one.
Yeah.
And the last time that we were on site at one of these golf courses, you said that the Raiders are in win-now mode.
Yes.
Does this extension further prove that?
Yes. That's what I meant by everything they've done. It just is funny because we look at the Raiders through a vision of the ineptness that they've had over the past few years, but it's a totally new regime. It's a totally new regime, and over the past 2 years, we've seen teams go from worst to first that we totally didn't expect. Let's look at the Washington Commanders, who did so with a rookie quarterback and a new head coach, which is different. I get it. But, again, nobody anticipated it, and they did it. The Houston Texans did so with a new quarterback and a new coach as well, but we didn't come into that season believing they had a chance to win some. They just went out there and proved it. Geno Smith is better as a quarterback today than either Jaden Daniels or C.J. Stroud would have been projected to be in their rookie years. He is a formidable guy at that spot, a Pro Bowl-level quarterback. And the Raiders are going to continue to build up this roster in a way where you would expect them to at least have a chance. I like their ability to have a Brock Bowers be the focal point of your offense and maybe build through the draft to add more pieces. If they draft Ashton Genty, especially now in the year of the return of the running back, that's got to be a great sign that they are trying to win. And speaking of adding a running back through the draft, not many running backs ever been drafted higher than this guy who is joining us on Theoretically Speaking right now. Mark Ingram, fresh off the course. He pops on the headset with us here. C-Cat to my right now, Mark Ingram to my left. And first off, we got to ask, how'd you hit him today? I see you sipping a little drink.
Yeah,
is this a celebratory drink, or are you trying to get over the way you hit the ball?
I hit that thing all over the place today, man. You know, I took the scenic route on the course. Yeah. You know what I mean? We hit it far, but it went far left, far right. Well, you know, we had a couple birdies. You know, I contributed to my team.
Yes.
So, you know, but there's always room for improvement.
Now, Mark, you wouldn't have known this before you came and sat down right here, but one of the two of us are huge Ravens fans and wants to give you a special message to see if you'll return it.
Big trust.
In the flesh. Woo! Yes, sir. Meet me and B-More right outside the bank. I'm about that.
See, I said that Word from word verbatim before the show started. I wish you were here for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He did?
No, absolutely not.
You already know what's going on.
Mark, man, why is this such a huge deal for y'all? Like, y'all step off the football field, and so many of y'all still want to compete at a high level, and it feels like golf is that outlet that a lot of you choose. Has it been big in your life, and why is it a big deal to be able to get out here with the fellas and hit the ball around?
I grew up playing golf, man. I was fortunate enough to have my father who introduced me to the game at a young age, and I actually did competitive golf, through middle school, and it was probably one of my better sports going into high school, but golf and football were in the same season, so I chose to play football. So I didn't golf much at all, and through high school or college or even in the NFL, I didn't play much. And so now that I'm, done and I got more time on my hands, I wanted to get back on the course, man. I just love the camaraderie you have when you have a great foursome of guys going out there, or women too, you know what I mean? It's just a great game to play. Obviously super competitive. It's super humbling. It's all of those things, man. And there's nothing like when you stripe a drive down the middle of the fairway. You stick one close to the pin and you knock one in for birdie. There's nothing like that feeling. You might double bogey the next hole, but you always chase that feeling. So it's just a great game.
It's the chase. I was talking to C-Cat about that. I think that's what keeps y'all, people in general, but specifically former athletes, on the course. It's the chase of continuing to be better, because even after a great hole, it could be a bad one that's going to wake you back up to want to do it again.
Man, it's a humbling game, and all you could do, no matter if it's a good shot or a bad shot, all you could do is go find your ball and play the next shot. Your job is to get the ball in the hole. So it's a very humbling game. It's a very mentally straining game, and I think it makes you better, man, in life, because golf is very similar to life, because sometimes you hit a good shot, you get a bad bounce, you know what I mean, but you got to keep playing. Sometimes you hit a bad shot, you get a good bounce. You got to keep playing. Your job is to play the next shot, get the ball in the hole, and try and have the lowest scores you possibly can. But it's just an amazing game. Create so many relationships. I got two of my good friends with me right now that I met through golf, and we family for life, man. So I think golf creates some great relationships. I think it's a great game, so it's great to be out here.
Yeah, C-Cat, you brought something up that I thought was interesting. A lot of people, they remember you from a lot of great moments. We also remember you from that picture at Bama at the coin toss.
Yeah.
But we started lining things up, and it's like your ties to Derrick Henry go even deeper now, because now, 22 is out there doing this thing with your Baltimore Ravens,
right.
man. How have you been taking that in and watching him do his thing?
I mean, that's my boy. And obviously just seeing, obviously the career he's had, the career he's made, he's one of the best to ever tote the rock, man. So I remember his rookie year, man, he was kind of frustrated, kind of went into a situation where, he wasn't starting. He kind of was, coming in and out, wasn't getting the same touches, and he was really frustrated. We just had easy discussions, just told him to stay the course, and keep working and being prepared for his opportunities. And so when his opportunity comes, that he could take it and grasp it, and he's done that tenfold. And so I'm super, happy that for him, the legacy he's creating, Hall of Fame back, and he's still rolling, man. He's still rolling.
Was Lamar Jackson the MVP this year?
Yes. I mean, I don't know why these people do this stuff. Obviously Josh Allen had a tremendous season. Nothing against Josh Allen. I think he's, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. One of the top players in the league. Buffalo wouldn't be where they at without him. But at the same time, Lamar Jackson had a season that we've never seen before. No one's ever thrown for 4,000 yards and rushed for over 900 yards. And I think he actually touched 1,000 eventually, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, no one has seen the season that Lamar Jackson did. Nobody has thrown for 4,000 yards and rushed for over 900 yards. And when you do something like that, it should be, it should be cherished. It should be awarded. And, he's had 2 MVPs. Maybe they didn't want to give him 3 MVPs. Who knows what it might be. There's always something. There's always something that you can't. You try to add it up. You try to carry the 1. You try to subtract, divide it by 2, by the square root of pi, and the math just don't be mathing. You know what I mean?
Mark Ingram joining us here, former Ravens back, former Bama back, and a guy that you see in commercials that also celebrate what he did in college in the Heisman House and whatnot. So, Mark, I'm questioning for you. How much are you loving the return of the prioritization of the position that you call home as a running back? Because, man, this past year and a half between Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Ashton Genty, and I'm probably missing 3 or 4 other names, Joe Mixon.
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins. We've seen that position get a lot more love? Like, I know you wish you were a little bit more of a part of it, but it's still good to see your brothers get right.
The running back has always been an integral part of a football team and always a focal point of a football team. Typically, unless you have a Tom Brady or a Patrick Mahomes, you're going to need a significant running game to be able to go deep into the playoffs. And when you have a running game, what that does is it keeps the defense off balance. It keeps the defense. Nobody wants to continue to hit the runner over and over and over again. And then guess what? Now you got to respect the run because he's positive in his run in the running game, and now they're hitting you over the top with deep threats. So I think, across the league they're trying to devalue the position, but at the end of the day, the position has always been valued. And I'm just so glad that Saquon, Derrick Henry, all these guys, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, you see guys around the league, especially the veteran backs that are defying the odds and showing that, hey, it doesn't matter my age or or how many carries I have. Look at my body of work. Look at the film like you don't know when my birthday was and compensate me accordingly. And so I'm so happy for Saquon getting the compensation that he deserves, and hopefully other backs around the league continue to get the compensation that they deserve.
Where you want to see Genty go? What's the perfect landing spot for a guy like that who kind of has all the tools in his toolbox?
I think, Dallas needs a running back really bad. I know New Orleans has a 9th pick. I think him and Alvin would be a crazy tandem. But I just think anywhere that he could go, that he could be utilized in the right system. He's a back that can run inside, break tackles. He's a back that can run outside, hit the home run. He can pick up pass protection. He can come out the backfield and catch the ball. So I think wherever he lands, I think his skill set will translate, really well to the NFL.
Mark, I got a question for you, and I just started noticing this the past couple of years. I'm sure you've noticed this far longer than that. The NFL has been finding their players in the weirdest of ways for doing the weirdest of things, such as a running back who hits a hole, lowers his body a little bit, and they consider that leading with the head, dangerous move. Have you ever been fined in a way like that where you're scratching your head when you get that envelope?
I picked up a pass protection one time. The linebacker was blitzing through the A-gap, and I went and I cut him. But when I cut him, my lineman went away from his technique and kind of like touched his shoulder pad. So on film, you could obviously see that I made first contact and that I'm going to cut him first. But it's called a high-low, and you can't do that. And so they sent me a fine letter. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, you could clearly see, so the lineman is like going this way, taking his pass set, but when nobody's over there, he rocks back. And he kind of gets just like a right-hand shoulder on him at the last minute, and they sent me a fine for it. And so I ended up appealing it, and I think they gave me half off, but I still had to pay some money. And I'm like, bro, I'm just doing my job. Man, it's 260 pounds running down in the A-gap. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
Y'all do y'all's job and don't find me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say so. The quarterback your pass protection is going to get a whole lot more injured than the guy you're blocking when you try to go low on him.
Yeah, man, you try to box somebody 250 pounds running at you full speed while you just coming out of a stationary stance, but that's part of the job description. That's why running backs, I think, should be valued and are so important because I feel like running back's the best athlete on the field. You look at Jahmyr Gibbs. We're missing him.
Yeah.
You look at Jahmyr Gibbs and many others, man. There's so many backs that, probably, that we're not mentioning right now. But I think the running back is so crucial to a team because not only do you have to run the ball inside, not only do you have to run the ball outside, you have to be able to come out the backfield, catch the football. You have to be able to have pass protection. So a lot goes into it. You have to be a smart player as a running back because if you don't know where the pass protection is coming from, if I don't pick up the safety, Drew Brees gets hit in the back of his head. You know what I mean? So, and that's your franchise right there. So, got to have a smart player in the backfield for sure.
Did Drew pick up the tab on that fine?
No. Drew ain't picked the tab up, man. Drew ain't picked the tab up, man. That's my dog, but he ain't picked the tab up, though.
What do you remember about just New Orleans itself? That as a professional athlete in that city, which the culture there, the restaurants there, the vibes there. I mean, I got a lot of family from New Orleans. I still go back here and there. How much did you just love and reminisce on those days there? I know Baltimore, it's highly touted how much you like them, Big Trust and all that. But what about New Orleans, man?
I mean, New Orleans is the place that drafted me. I spent nearly 10 years of my career there. And I think New Orleans and the Saints are intertwined. We can't have one without the other. When the Saints are doing great, crime is down in New Orleans. People are happy in New Orleans. When the Saints aren't doing well, this crime goes up and people aren't happy. So it's just one heartbeat, one city. the amount of love and appreciation I get when I go back to that city. I think New Orleans hosted a tremendous Super Bowl this year. I think New Orleans should be a mandatory destination for the Super Bowl every 5 years. You might could rotate it every 4 years, but every 5th year, New Orleans needs to have a Super Bowl. Just did an immaculate job. Everyone in New Orleans deserves a huge round of applause for how they handled, the tragedy that happened on New Year's, and then for how they bounced back 6 weeks later and had a flawless executed Super Bowl. I was there for the whole week, and there was no better place, there was no safer place to be in the world than there was in New Orleans that week. So I'm just so happy, for New Orleans that they had a successful Super Bowl, and I'm thankful for everything they've done for me. City like no other, one of a kind. Be able to the food, the people, the culture, the history. New Orleans is one of a kind for sure.
Should Bama have been in the college football playoff this year?
Yeah, I think they should have been. Obviously, they didn't, handle what they needed to handle, so they can't be mad at nobody but themselves because you controlled your own destiny, and you go and lay an egg versus Oklahoma on the road. Yeah. But at the end of the day, with that being said, I still think they should have been in the playoff over SMU. You're talking about a weak conference in the ACC, and they had no quality wins, no ranked wins. And I still think that they should have been in. Guess what? If you win, you're in. And guess what you didn't do? You didn't win. So you shouldn't be in.
That's what I'm about to say.
You shouldn't be in.
So you agree then? You can't lose to that Oklahoma team. Bama made Oklahoma bowl eligible.
Every conference isn't created equal at the same time.
Man, there's a 6-win team though.
Who?
Oklahoma. There was a 6-win team.
You're talking about a 3-loss team in Bama. The 3-loss team won the ACC.
Dang, you got a point.
Yeah, and you look at the SMU quarterback against Penn State in that first-round game. I would have loved it. I'm a Penn Stater also, so I would have liked a better game.
Yeah.
So
now you know what it is, whatever, but Alabama can't be mad at nobody but themselves. Yeah. But at the same time, I still think they should have been in the playoff. And with that being said, they still went and got their ass spanked by Michigan in the bowl game. Yeah. So maybe we shouldn't have been in. But at that time, I feel like we should have been a 12th team in.
Hopeful for the trajectory now. You got year one of Kalen DeBoer. Do you have any relationship with him or any people around the program still?
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to be able to, speak with Kalen DeBoer a number of times, and he invited me to come speak to the team last year during training camp. And obviously, he's 2 years out from a national championship appearance with Washington, so he knows what it takes. And so kind of got to give guys time to get their footprint, get their process ingrained in the team. Obviously, it's different this day and age with the NIL, the turnover on rosters, but I think he knows what it takes, and I'm rooting for him, man. Obviously, he's the head coach at the University of Alabama. I think he's a great guy, and, created a good relationship, a good rapport with him over the last year since he's been the head coach, and obviously I'm supporting him in the Tide all day, so hopefully we can get back to where we need to be, and that's on top. You feel me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you. I agree with everything until he started pumping that Alabama Roll Tide stuff, talking about they should have been in. And then
who you like then?
I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, so we got our own way as well.
Yeah. So you think
it's
SMU should have been in?
But here's what I'll say. SMU shouldn't have been in because Miami should have not lost those 2 games down the stretch and played their way in, and you wouldn't have been able to have an argument for Bama over Miami.
But we did because y'all laid an egg.
I know,
just like we laid an egg.
I was about to say, so we share experience.
Eggs.
Yeah.
he wants comfort and misery. He wants to be Bama's fans just as miserable as Miami fans are.
SMU, come on, man. Just win your conference, and then everybody's happy. So if they would have won,
you're right.
We would have been in.
You're right. That's why you're really mad at SMU.
Yeah, so
that's why you're really mad. Speak the truth.
So F them.
Mark Ingram with parting shots to their guys out there at SMU, but also with some wise words for Bama. He says the Tide are coming back with Kalen DeBoer. So glad you could join us.
I hope so.
Glad you could join us. Big trust and hopefully
in the flesh.
Hopefully things continue to go well for you on the course, brother.
I appreciate you, dog.
All right, we continue on with theoretically speaking. I can't promise any more great injections of life and energy like Mark Ingram just gave us, but I can promise you we'll be giving away a Titleist bag from Pro Football Hall of Fame's James Hardy's Invitational.
I need a bag.
No, hold on, not to you. You got
call in.
enough there.
Well, you can call in if you're a lucky
call
caller.
in, we're going to be giving it to a caller later.
What's the number?
888-760-3776. 888-760-3776.
He said that pretty fast. Anybody catch that? I'm drinking margaritas. What the number was?
You got to beat Mark Ingram out. He's already dialing it in. 888-760-3776. Get on hold right now, and on the other side, we will give you the contest rules and how you can win it.
Oh, he gave me a busy number. What? Oh, hell no.
That's Mark Ingram. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Miami, we know you can party, and we know you love your golf. So don't miss out, because the next Live Golf event isn't just big, it's a monster. Live Golf returns to Trump National Doral, April 4th to 6th. And because it's at Blue Monster, we're going big, as well as giants of the game in Rahm, DeChambeau, Koepka, and more. We've got huge DJ sets, epic street food, and ska punk legend Sublime headlining. Grab your tickets at livegolf.com. That's livegolf.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Don't miss Russo and Rizzo.
What's an assistant coach even do in basketball?
Okay, we're not doing this. He's an important piece.
He goes, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Collie goes, we're not doing it.
UConn, how they do it, they have 2 main assistants, Kamani Young and Luke Murray, Bill Murray's son. They alternate who does scout. And Luke Murray will always get the second of the games. Hurley's the coach. Hurley executes the game plan, but they make the game plan. I think UConn's offense is beautiful. It was Murray.
It's Russo and Rizzo, weekdays at 4, here on ESPN 106.3.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Mike T providing context to the Geno Smith deal. Mike Tannenbaum, our guy, he says, on average, the 2-year, $75.5 million extension, that puts him right between Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins. C-Cat, now how do you judge that deal between Stafford and Cousins?
You know, I feel like I just am always 2 years behind judging what is a lot of money in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think I just have a hard time adjusting to it. But you just got to go back and level yourself with Dak Prescott making $60 a year.
Sheesh. Yeah, would you rather be paying that? Exactly. Would you rather be paying Dak $60 million a year or Geno, what would that be, 40? 35 to 40 million? I'm
for
taking
2 years.
Geno. Yeah, for 2 years. I would much rather be in that situation. Another team whose quarterback room and situation I would take over the Dallas Cowboys, who just added Joe Milton for security. It's time for some theoretically trivia. It is time to get some callers on the line who can win a Titleist golf bag. A Titleist golf bag is on the line. Generally, we give out gift cards. Today, it's a Titleist golf bag, and all you have to do is pick between Theo and C-Cat who's going to represent you, who's going to upgrade your golf game by handing you this Titleist golf bag. We're going to play some trivia. Kate Chumsland is going to join in. Here's the number to call in to select your fighter. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Call in on the Baptist Health Hotline, and if you pick the correct winner, you get a Titleist golf bag, which is branded by some beautiful James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational green. So it's a nice green Titleist golf bag. You're going to love it. Can you show it on the YouTube stream?
And you know what? It says Pro Football Hall of Fame on it. So people might mistake you for a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
I will.
That's a great feeling to have. And we are giving that away right now if you call in.
888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. 888-760-3776. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Callers line up, choose your fighter, and as you decide who you want, Kate Chumsland, welcome to Theoretically Speaking on this beautiful Thursday. What's our topic for today?
Well, I mean, you guys are at the Pro Football Hall of Fame James Hardy Invitational, so we got to talk about some NFL Hall of Famers, my friends.
Perfect.
That makes sense.
I'm loving that. So we're going to have a Hall of Fame themed trivia or a theoretically trivia, showdown here between myself and C-Cat, and all you got to do is choose your fighter. 888-760-3776. This Titleist golf bag can be yours.
We got our contestant.
Oh,
Shane from Green Acres. Can you join us live on the line? It looks like you got first dibs. Shane from Green Acres, who are you picking as your champion for Theoretically Trivia to win this golf bag?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Theo today.
Smart man, Shane. You know what? That's a winning move by you. That means, thank you, stay on hold here as I get this victory and get you this golf bag. That means that we have Dan Dan is in West Palm Beach. Dan is in West Palm Beach, and he's stuck with you, C-Cat.
All right, Dan. Let's go. Come on, Dan. He's not stuck with me. He's blessed with me.
He's stuck with C-Cat.
Exactly. He somehow fell to me.
Yeah. Well, Kate, it's time to get this thing rolling. Give us our questions.
And what are our rules?
Yeah, give us the rules first.
Yep, so I've got 2 lists of 3 questions. Theo, you will pick either list 1 or list 2. Those are your 3 questions. CK gets the other 3. And there is still the option, if the original person misses, the other one gets a chance to steal.
All right. In honor of my guy, Mark Ingram, I'm going to go with number 2.
All right. Theo choosing list number 2. A member of the 1987 Hall of Fame class, this defensive tackle was synonymous with the phrase, have a Coke and a smile.
Have a Coke and a smile, Reggie Perry.
Incorrect.
You never watched the commercial?
No, I haven't.
Joe Green.
Joe Green. Joe Green.
Man,
Yeah, Shane. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
No, don't do that. Well, just stick around. The game's not over. What's the next question?
All right, C-Cat's turn.
Never saw that commercial.
Part of the class of 2000, you'll now find this former Raiders defensive end on the set of Fox.
We're going to go with Howie Long.
That is also correct, C-Cat.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. You're killing it. Still time for a comeback. 2-0 lead by C-Cat. Watch this, though.
Theo, which year featured the legendary class of Kurt Warner, LaDainian Tomlinson, Jason Taylor, Jerry Jones, Kenny Easley, and Terrell Davis?
That's a tough one. That's a deep cut because I have to pick a specific year.
There's only so many.
I mean, I know, but that was a
lot of players have played in the NFL, but there's not that many years.
I know. I remember this one. 2017.
That is correct, Theo.
I'm like that, dog. Yeah, you over here picking, Mean Joe Green. I saw the commercial. I had to pull out a year.
Doesn't know ball.
I'm whooping you. What's next? I'm coming back, dog. 2-1. What's next?
C-Cat, similar question. Which year featured the legendary class of Reggie White, Warren Moon, John Madden, Rayfield Wright, Harry Carson, and Troy Aikman?
Oh, man.
You're cooked. I don't know.
I'm going to go with 2002.
2000. Theo, I was about to spoil that one.
Right.
Theo, you get a chance to steal. That's incorrect.
We're just guessing here. Wait, can I hear the names again?
Reggie White, Warren Moon, John Madden, Rayfield Wright, Harry Carson, and Troy Aikman.
Okay. So,
calculating.
2003.
Incorrect. 2006.
Wow.
I was trying to figure out when Aikman retired. I was trying to figure out which one would be the first ballot Hall of Famer. Whatever. All right, so I missed that one. It's on me again, right? 2-1 lead by C-Cat.
Yes, sir. Last one for each of you. Theo, this Super Bowl winning defensive back and 2021 Hall of Fame inductee is now one of the most successful GMs in the league.
Oh, yeah. I like that. That's an easy one.
Yeah. So it's weird because you didn't answer it right away.
I know, because I had one guy in mind at first who's actually at this tournament, but it's actually going to be John Lynch.
It is going to be John Lynch. Well done, Theo.
Ooh, I didn't know that one.
I was thinking Rondé Barber at first. I don't know why. But, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we're all tied up. Time to take it home.
C-Cat for the win. Speaking of March Madness and the Final Four,
we were.
This 2019 Hall of Famer averaged 6 points a game while playing basketball for the Cal Bears.
Whew. All right, it's got to be a tight end, right? I feel like we just got to boil it down to that. What's a tight end that went to Cal? It's not Jason Witten. He did not retire 2015. Cal, Bear, 6 points per game. I'll guess Jason Witten?
Incorrect. Theo now for the win.
Dang, that sucks because Antonio Gates went to Kent State. The other guys.
Jason Witten didn't play basketball.
Right. Yeah,
what am I doing?
Antonio Gates went to Penn State. Tight end. Give the clue again. You said he was 6 points a game for Cal, and he was the 2019 Hall of Famer, right?
2019 Hall of Famer, yes.
All right. Man, dog, it can't be Tony G. Tony G. I don't know what college Tony G went to. I think that's the only. Dang it, this sucks, man. I'm gonna go with it. Give me Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez, class of 1997, out of California.
Whoa,
Theo, you get it.
I like that, dog.
Come on.
I'm really like that. I don't
That
do this for
sucks.
fun. I do this for real. What happens now? We tied. Oh, bonus question.
No, you won.
I believe you won, Theo, because you
3-2.
stole. Yeah, you stole the other
I just
one.
stole the last. Oh, you're right. It was tied 2-2, and you had a chance to win, but you didn't know Tony Gonzalez. But since I'm a Chiefs fan, of course I got that one.
The classic mix-up between Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten. Yeah.
It's just one
It's
for
one
one.
of many who have been a casualty to that.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Kate jumps in. I appreciate you. Can we get Shane back on? Shane, who had first pick and now gets the title is back, courtesy of me. Shane, congratulations on your big win.
Appreciate that, man. I was screaming on the phone. Tony G, I do that answer. I was glad to get through with it.
You know what? Somewhere down the line, I heard you, man. I heard your voice. It resonated through the airwaves here, and that's how I got that one, Shane. You're the man.
I propose an amendment for theoretically trivia going forward. For one of our questions, we should be able to phone
the caller.
Phone the caller that we're playing with.
You know what? We're going to find a way to work that into the rules going forward. Kate, if you're cool with that, I would love to work that into the rules going forward. We get one phone the caller, and they get to pop in and give their answer to solve the clue. I like it.
Lord knows that Theo might be able to get some golf questions right after
There
that.
we go. Whenever they were even in the playing field. Kate, appreciate you for hooking it up. Congrats to our guy. He gets the Titleist bag. Decked out with the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational
It
stuff.
shaves like 4 shots off your scorecard just by owning it.
Yeah, if somebody popped up with you in a foursome, and he had that bag, you're already intimidated. You're nervous. This is the red polo for Tiger. Kate, appreciate you again. We'll continue things here in the happy hour for Theoretically Speaking at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. That's EK. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
It's been a chilly start to the year, but don't let the rising temperatures catch you off guard. Hey, it's Colin Russo, and since 1960, John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing has proudly served Palm Beach County, keeping homes cool and comfortable. Now's the time to upgrade your AC with great financing options. Plus, ask about the Cassidy Care Club, providing year-round peace of mind. Cassidy is part of our local community and supports organizations like the YMCA and the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association. Keep cool with Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Find out more at CassidyAC.com.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Shohei Ohtani can do no wrong. Shohei Ohtani can do no wrong. The Dodgers are never going to lose a game this season. They're going 162-0. I believe I am locked in on it. I said before the season, nothing else in baseball matters but the LA Dodgers, and he showed me why last night.
Well, he can do some wrong, lock in a 10-leg parlay and owe a guy millions of dollars and then have his translator as the fall guy. He can do a little bit of wrong and then get admonished and forgotten about it when he hits a home run. He can do a smidge wrong.
Every great needs a little bit of a small scandal. Every great needs a little bit of the wiki page needs that one line that's like personal life.
What's the phrase? You want to be like Mike? Well, you can be like Michael Jordan in different ways.
Yeah.
Just have a gambling problem.
I was about to say, look, and Shohei is showing us that you can do both. and he's playing baseball like Mike.
Sure.
Is Shohei Ohtani Michael Jordan reincarnated?
The thing is, we need Shohei Ohtani to switch sports, play G League basketball.
He could do it.
And then he'll complete the entire trifecta.
I believe it. He can do it. So Shohei is unparalleled in sports right now. The Dodgers may never lose a game. But in all seriousness, what I really want to get on before we get out of here and turn it over to Russo and Rizzo, I want to talk a little bit about some cross-racial sports comps that we have going on both in the NFL and the NBA with some of the top picks coming out. I've already talked to y'all about Shedeur Sanders. He's drawing the Tom Brady comps. I've heard some Chad Pennington, some Kirk Cousins. I heard a Jared Goff one. That's pretty innovative. Then I look over at the NBA, and we got Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils ready to take off in this Final Four in San Antonio this weekend. And this ESPN article right here, 5 NBA executives and scouts came up with comps for Cooper Flagg. Here they are. Jason Tatum, Scottie Pippen, and they say his ceiling is Kawhi Leonard. I'm with him on this. The dude is like 6'10", moves like a guard, can guard 1 through 4 or 5. I don't know what it'll look like at the NBA. And he can handle the rock. He can shoot it. He has like no inefficiencies in his game. It's very Kawhi-esque.
I appreciate the mid-range game.
Yeah.
Always appreciate. It's our sight for sore eyes.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Russo and Rizzo next here from the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. Shout out the Old Course at Broken Sound. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. The New York Yankees might have missed out on Juan Soto, but it's